Your chest tightens. The moment someone you care about goes silent, your brain interprets it as a physical threat. Your immediate biological instinct is to overcommunicate, to fix the void, sending that extra text or explanation just to stop the spiral of the silence. This reaction is reinforced by a lifetime of conditioning. We're taught that dramatic pursuit is the ultimate proof of love, that if we just explain ourselves well enough or chase hard enough, we can earn back the attention we've lost. Stoicism offers a difficult but powerful counterconcept. You possess no authority over someone else's indifference. You cannot force a reply, but you have absolute control over how you respond to its absence. Instead of the chaotic, predictable panic they expect, the Stoic approach is a calculated, deliberate silence. You meet their withdrawal not with a chase, but with your own calm retreat. Reacting emotionally confirms their power and confirms your desperation. Choosing to remain still is how you reclaim your foundational worth, proving that your attention is a privilege that can be withdrawn at any time. Think of this dynamic as the paradox of pursuit. It functions like a handful of sand. The more you panic and grip tighter to keep it from falling, the faster it slips through your fingers. Desperation creates the very pressure that repels the person you want to reach. This chart illustrates attention as an economy. When you overinvest in someone who is pulling away, you create a massive oversupply of your own presence. By making yourself constantly available and predictable, your perceived value in the relationship reaches zero. When a partner pulls away, they expect a specific behavioral loop. They anticipate that you will feel insecure, that you'll check in, and that you'll eventually collapse into a desperate attempt to fix things. This anticipation gives them a sense of total security. As long as they know you are waiting and chasing, they feel in control of the timeline and comfortable in their decision to leave. Absolute silence shatters that loop. When you remove the chase, you remove their sense of control, leaving them with an outcome they didn't prepare for. Initially, they enter phase 1, freedom and illusion. They feel relief and a surge of dopamine from new attention, convincing themselves they've made the right choice by seeking greener grass. But this phase has an expiration date. New attention often lacks depth, and the distractions that seemed so exciting eventually start to feel hollow. By simply refusing to participate in their expected narrative, you've set a psychological trap. You've left a void where your effort used to be, and that void is impossible to ignore. This brings them to phase 2, the void and comparison. As the noise of new faces dies down, your silence becomes a heavy presence. They begin unconsciously measuring new connections against the genuine safety you once provided. The power dynamic shifts. Because you haven't reached out, they begin to wonder if they miscalculated their own importance. They face the possibility that you have moved on, while they are still processing the loss. In phase 3, curiosity, they start searching for signs of your struggle. They check your profiles or ask around, looking for any indication that your world is darker without them. When they find that you are thriving and your life is moving forward independently, the realization is devastating. It confirms that you didn't need them to be okay. This leads to phase 4, regret. They begin replaying shared moments, questioning if they traded a solid foundation for a temporary fantasy. They are forced to confront the reality that they were the ones who broke the bond. Your silence has effectively turned their own mind into a prison. By leaving the story unfinished, you forced their brain to seek closure by obsessing over what they've lost. Eventually, they reach phase 5, contact. This usually isn't a grand apology, but a breadcrumb, a casual, low-risk text designed to test if you are still an option they can access. Responding with immediate, hungry eagerness collapses the new boundary you've built. It confirms you were simply waiting, which resets the original imbalance and gives them back the power they just lost. The Stoic pivot is to respond with complete detachment, or not at all. By showing you are unbothered, you prove that the version of you they could predict and control no longer exists. This reveals the core truth of this process. The ultimate goal of walking away was never to manipulate Blade into returning. The silence was a tool to help you survive the withdrawal. It gave you the time and the quiet needed to be transformed into someone who no longer requires their validation. True power is the realization that your value was never tied to their reply. The time you spent in silence was not a wait for them, but a return to your own self-respect.